Hello and welcome to You Are Human, a podcast attempting to decode human potential and possibilities by bringing you real stories, real heroes. In life, we are always told to have dreams and goals. And when we have them, we are generally asked, so what are you ready to do in order to achieve those goals? But we forget that there is a second part of the question too. What are you ready to not do in order to achieve those goals? Today at You Are Human, I have Malak Al Zadjali, who, since the age of 12, knew what she wanted to do. And she's been doing it with both ways. Hello, Malak.
Hello.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I need to confess, I have been podcasting for nearly 8 months now, and I've had over 35 guests, and you're the first teenager to be on the show.
Well, I'm honored.
I'm honored too. I mean, it's amazing to see the way teenagers think and live, the choices that they make. It's amazing. It's so inspiring.
Thank you so much.
Malak, as I said, that since the age of 12, you knew what you wanted to do. But before we get there, I would like to understand, you were born in Oman.
Yes.
And the growing years, when you start understanding things, you start developing as not like an adult, but this is the life that you're going to remember once you're older.
Mm-hmm.
That period you spent in Thailand.
Yes,
yeah,
I did.
And you had a very different life over there. And it's been a few years, you're back to Oman.
Mm-hmm.
How did the transition happen? It's not about how you came from there, because you flew down, but in terms of your psychology, emotionally, how did you transition and adapt yourself to this culture? Was it easy? Was it difficult? How did it happen?
I mean, it's not the first change to happen, because the first change I would count it me moving to Thailand. So me coming back wasn't as hard, but I did face some difficulties adjusting to the change, because the environment I was in Thailand is completely different than the environment here in Oman. So it took me some time to adjust, and it's still taking me time to adjust to a couple of things, but I am getting there.
Yeah. As human beings, I think we all have a superpower. And our superpower is that we adapt to change.
Yes.
No matter it's weather, it's relationships, it's food.
Yes.
We just know how to adapt. And I think we all are blessed with the superpower.
Definitely.
So in order to adapt to change, is it easy for you to get there? Or is it like a lot of constant hard work? Because for some people, it's okay. They're like, it's a new place. Because I know some of my friends, they don't travel because they don't want to miss out on the comfort of the home. They're like, no, I don't want to travel because it's going to be a new place. I have to pack my bag. I have to unpack. Imagine.
Yeah.
So, they're all different kinds of people. For you, adapting to change, does it come smoothly, or is it something you have to put consciously a lot of effort?
When you say change, change happens in different things and different ways. It comes in different ways. So me adapting to change could be like specific things that could be easily adapted. Like I can adapt to that change, but some things it's difficult for me. Like I said, I did face some difficulties and I got over them, but I am still facing difficulties. So it depends on the aspect of change, like which aspect,
Right.
But sometimes, it is smooth and sometimes it is going to be difficult. And it all depends on what are you facing? What is changing in your life? I mean, if it's food, I don't mind. Yes. But if it's something bigger, like a friendship or something, that would be something difficult to adapt to.
Yeah. It takes a while.
Yes, it does. It does take a while. And you said your friends don't want to travel, but sometimes getting out of your comfort zone, getting out of that comfort of your home is when you start, growing up, when you learn to grow up.
Right.
And I think people should get out of their comfort zones more often, adapt to change.
Yes.
Change is okay.
Yes, and we should embrace change,
Definitely.
Like, that's the first step. Like, we need to embrace change, and then we can slowly adapt to it, because then it would just come so smoothly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. Because us as human beings, we're going through change constantly. We're going through phases almost every day.
Yeah.
So every different periods of times are different phases that you're going through. So whatever you'll do, wherever you are, what time it is, you're going through change. There's gonna be like a change in your life.
Yes, absolutely.
So
yeah. So this is very interesting, because there have been times when you meet somebody and they were like, "Oh, you still look the same. You haven't changed." So I've got that. Back in the days, of course. Now when people see me, a few changes here and there, and now they know my answer, so they don't say it. Especially my really close friends. So I was telling that because biologically, it's proven that every second our cells regenerate. So you are not the same person with the new thoughts that come and new learnings. Whenever somebody says that, "Oh, you haven't changed, you're still the same," I was like, "But you don't know what's changed in here. You know what's changed in here, because emotionally, spiritually, mentally, I have changed in so many ways, and change, as they say, is the only constant." Yeah. So
I do understand. Like, maybe I still look the same. But I am changing. A friend of mine once told me, I'm not the same person I was 2 years ago. She told me that about herself. And she was like, and that is okay, because we're constantly changing.
Yeah.
Because we're learning, and over time we're adapting to different changes in our lives. So maybe I look the same, but I'm also thinking differently. Like
Correct.
you said, I'm thinking differently. Maybe I'm seeing things differently in life. So that's all that matters,
Yeah.
That change within you, not the change outside,
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. What is football to you?
Football is a lot of things to me. It's my way of escaping from whatever I'm going through. It was a lot, like during times when I was upset, I would go play football. That was when I was in Thailand, because we had a indoor football field at home. So it was,
wow.
Yeah, it was my way of escaping, going to the second floor and playing football. And then over time it changed, it became more than that. It became my passion. It became something that I want to do and want to keep going. Like, if I don't become a player in the future, I want to become a coach.
Right.
I want to still be involved with football. I want to develop it in Oman. And football is everything to me. It's my life right now.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm working hard towards, becoming a better player, and working hard towards, making football bigger here in Oman, women's football. And it's not only me, my teammates are with me, and other girls, other players from other teams, we're working hard toward that. And we all love football. We really do.
Yeah, good luck to you girls.
Thank you.
I think for anything that we do, love and passion is important.
Definitely.
You can't just get into it because it's a cool thing, because that wouldn't last for longer.
Yes.
So as long as you have love and passion for it, only then it will start reflecting and it will start growing.
Yes.
So I'm really happy that our future football team is so much in love with the sport and is so passionate, because it's high time that we start seeing Omani women team playing internationally.
Yes.
And just being out there and killing it.
Thank you.
I think it's one step at a time. I think if we achieve just our participation, I think that will be a step closer to, to the next step. So.
See, every step you take is an important step.
Yeah.
When you're passionate about something.
True.
I'm not just talking about football. I'm talking about different sports. I'm talking about anything that you're passionate about.
Yeah.
Even for me, I'm a writer too. So me taking that step of writing one chapter, that's a big step, You waking up in the morning, that's a big step.
Right. Right.
So taking these small steps means that you're taking really important ones.
Right.
You're leading to a really important path. You're going there. You're getting there. So just keep going,
Yeah.
always keep going, always move forward.
Yes, absolutely. And, taking steps in the right direction. That's important because that collectively will take us to our goal.
Yes.
Because you mentioned you write as well. What are you writing about these days?
I write poetry and I write plots for movies. I have a pretty huge imagination. So I do have a couple of, plots there, here and there, because I really enjoy just imagining going inside of my, my own world, creating my own world.
Yeah.
Which is something I really enjoy.
Who's your favorite poet?
I don't have one.
Yeah, but you just do your own poetry.
I write
Do you
poetry.
read a lot about others? Do you read?
No. I don't read poetry. I write poetry. I don't read a lot, but I do see poems online and everything, but I write my own. I prefer writing my own poems.
And your poems, are they more life-oriented, inspirational, or is it just your feelings? Is it more romantic? Is it more encouraging? What is it?
More of my feelings and emotions. It's another coping mechanism.
Right.
Yes, I use it to cope with my emotions at times. Sometimes, yes, I go with football and I play, but sometimes I let out my emotions through writing.
Yeah.
Whether it was through plots and stories or through poems. And it's all just part of my emotions.
Wow. That's amazing.
Thank you.
And our imagination is like the best thing ever.
Definitely.
God has given us this amazing ability to take us. Imagine sitting here, because I have traveled to America. With my imagination and my memory, I can go back to America. But was there any airplane involved? Did I fly there? Did I pack my bags? Nothing. But just sitting here and I'd be like, oh, but in New York, and that place is built up in our head. And I think that is incredible.
It's all part of our minds. Like, our minds are really special places.
Yes, they are. They are.
And imagination is very important in the world. It's even more important than knowledge, in my opinion.
Right.
Because without imagination, we won't have the things we have in life right now.
Absolutely.
Because what comes before, what forms an idea is your imagination.
True.
So imagination is pretty important, guys.
Yes. I would like to know what is like a normal day in Malak's life. What is your routine? Because you're an athlete, you're studying, you're writing, you have your, coaching to go to. So what is your normal day?
My normal day. I don't really have normal days or a specific routine. The only things that I consider as a routine is going to my practices for football. But other than that, it's just random things that happen in my daily lives. You can see me one second I'm at home and then other second I'm at the beach with my friends, or doing anything, going outside, or just going out alone to Quran Park and just sitting there and writing.
Right.
So it's just my days are full of surprises, honestly. Nothing is planned. Nothing is ever properly planned.
But then you do train four days a week?
Yeah, 4 times a week right now.
4 times a week.
Because we're preparing for a tournament.
Yeah. So you're 19, yeah?
Yes.
You're a teenager. And teens in general, they have a huge social life. And there is a term called FOMO, fear of missing out. And this is something a lot of teenagers go through. You see a lot of anxiety, depression that occurs because some people, they feel, teenagers especially, if you see, I've been speaking to some counselors, therapists, and they say these days there are more teenagers who are coming up with, mental health issues in comparison to adults. So you just wonder, why? What's the problem in your life? So one of the things is because we're always constantly comparing our lives to others, and you're like, oh, but she's doing this, or he is doing that, and I'm not doing this. So there's always this fear of missing out, and in order to not feel that, they're just out there doing everything. New application, new filter, we want it all, you know? Because you're an athlete, you know the importance of having a disciplined life and to be committing to what is important, what is required in order to take you to your goal. But are there any times when you feel that, oh my God, I'm missing out on all of these things, Do you have that mood?
No. I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything because right now, football is everything to me. I love going to practice. My friends are there, My teammates are there. And I really enjoy going to practices, so I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything else. And I do have time for my family. I do have time for my other friends. And I think I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. Well, and with what you said about how comparing our lives to others, and how teens right now are struggling with that, I think it's mostly because of society. You know, it's mostly because how society pressures everyone that, you know, you're just sitting at home doing nothing. You need to do something about that. When in reality, you know, you're a teen. We're teens. We're not supposed to be, you know, doing a lot of things. I mean, success is great.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean I need to be successful right now at this age only. And if I miss it out right now, I won't be able to succeed in the future, which is something wrong. Like, it's a wrong way to think, because you can be successful at any age. You know, it will be there. So to everyone out there, like, stop pressuring yourself into thinking that you need to be successful right now. Or if I can't be successful, I'm 18. This girl has done it, you know? Why can't I do that? Maybe your time isn't to shine right now. Maybe later on, you know?
Yes. I mean, it's always about doing the right thing, but not taking a step back or feeling inferior just because somebody else is achieving, because that's what happens, you know. Maybe people are trying, but you don't get that to where somebody else has reached, you know. Because if I just give you an example of football, maybe you're a group, you know, your friends, everybody is playing well and everybody's training, but there's always going to be someone better than you. There's always going to be someone doing, you know, the moves better. I do not know, you know. So we shouldn't compare and sulk over it, but just keep doing what we're supposed to do.
That is something I've struggled with in the past. I used to think, you know, my teammates are better than me. Maybe I don't belong to the sport. I don't belong in the team. I've struggled with that way of thinking. But then I come to an understanding that everyone's best is different, and not everyone plays the same. Maybe, you know, I'm able to shoot this way, but my friend, she can juggle the ball this way, she can dribble it this way. So we all have our specialties, you know, we all have our special talents or moves. And it's the same thing in life, you know. Being successful doesn't mean that you need to walk the same road as this person, because our journeys differ from one another. It all depends on our past too. So whatever journey we're on, we just go on our journey and not focus on other people's journeys and be like, she went through that, I need to go through that too.
Yes.
You know, because everyone's different.
True.
You know?
And no journey is going to be identical. You know, you cannot duplicate.
Definitely.
You cannot be a second Bill Gates or, you know, just like Elon Musk. You cannot. You could be choosing the same paths, but your journey is definitely going to be completely different.
We can, like you said, you know, we can have similar paths, but our journeys will definitely be different. The obstacles I'm going to face, you might not face them. You might face different obstacles. It all depends on just where we walk. Our paces differ from one another. Absolutely. Maybe I'm going fast and you're going slow, but that doesn't mean you need to be at the same pace as I am.
True.
You know?
Absolutely.
So just take your time and just relax, you know? Especially us teens, we need to relax and just enjoy our lives, you know?
So this brings me to my next question, because I'm really inquisitive to know, because when we spoke, you said that you trained 4 days, and then now you mentioned that you're event writing with your education and everything, and doing so much. What do you do in order to give time for self-care? Do you, first of all, because right now you said as teenagers, we need to relax. So I understand you believe that we must invest in self-care.
Yes, definitely. It's very important in everything.
True.
You come first. You know, self-care comes first. Definitely, you know. And taking care of yourself will help you feel better, will help you, you know, feel better about yourself. And when you feel better about yourself, that's when you're at your best. That's when you're going to perform better at your work. That's when you're going to feel like, oh, I did good today, you know?
Yeah.
So taking care of yourself is really important. It's one of the most important things to me right now. There was a period of time where self-care wasn't important to me. I focused on other people. I put other people first. But then I come to realization that, you know, I've been taking care of others. I've been focusing on others. I've missed out on myself, you know?
Yeah.
I forgot about myself and I struggled. I struggled for months trying to be better, feel better. And then through that road, I started criticizing myself, you know, but that is not self-care, by the way. Telling yourself you did wrong and criticizing yourself, that is not self-care.
Yeah.
So, and then like I started understanding what self-care is, you know? And since then, I've been trying to take care of myself. And I've been feeling better and better every day, which is good.
How do you do that? Like, what activities do you indulge in for self-care?
Football is part of it.
Yeah. It's a part of self-care.
Yeah. But other things like I do is I try to make time for myself. Like I said, sometimes I go out and sit alone because I struggle with not having anyone's company. Like having my own company, I'm still struggling with that, you know, being with myself. But slowly I'm getting used to it and I'm trying to push myself to get used to it, which is getting out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
And I just try to go out alone most of the time, you know, just to drive, play music, sit down. And I try to also like focus on seeing myself differently. Sometimes I look in the mirror and I tell myself that, you know, I look good today. You know, I look very good.
Yeah.
So it's part of just, you know, being positive and being also self-aware, you know?
Yes.
We all have flaws.
Yeah.
Obviously. And flaws what makes us humans.
True.
You know, it's what makes us human. And I am self-aware of my flaws, but, you know, I'm trying to not criticize myself. Don't criticize yourself because of your flaws, because everyone has flaws. Everyone makes mistakes too, you know? So it's okay.
And it's okay. Yeah, it's okay
definitely.
to make mistakes. Yeah.
If you don't make mistakes, how are you learning in life?
Yeah.
You know, how are you coping with things in life? Making mistakes is part of that road of, you know, becoming a better person.
Yes.
And us taking care of ourselves is us being better for ourselves.
True.
So self-care is important, guys.
Absolutely. And one important point that you've raised is that you spend time with yourself. And I think in today's day and age, it's important to accept ourselves and enjoy the company of ourselves, because we are always looking for someone else to make us happy.
Yes.
Oh, if I get him or if I get her, you know, with me, then it's going to be happy. It's going to be a la. But we forget that we are born with ourselves.
Yes.
You know, the person that's going to be with us constantly is, myself.
Yeah.
So we have to be comfortable in our own skin and our own company. You know, I know some people, they're like, I can't sit alone because my thoughts, they scare me. Okay. You know,
we need to try to build a home within ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, because this whole time I might be, around people. For years and years, I'll be around different people. But at the end, I am growing with myself, you know?
Wow. Yeah.
So it's very important to take care of yourself and accept who you are and love yourself. Self-love is the first step of self-care.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Loving yourself is the first step.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I think my take for today's episode is that we need to build a home within ourselves. And I think that is incredible. Thank you so much, Malak, for sharing
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. If you liked today's episode, please like, share, and comment. And I look forward to seeing you in my next episode. Until then, remember, our time is limited. Let's make the most of it.